A lot of you have commented or asked, what if Meghan Markle loves her shoulders and just wants to show them off? It is plausible, possible, perhaps. And that is something that I have taken into consideration as well. But there is a good way and a maybe less flattering way, to put it nicely, to show off your shoulders, whether they're broad or not. Now, if you have particularly narrow or particularly broad shoulders, there are a few things that come into play. Not only does it impact the overall balance of your silhouette, so it changes the sort of outline of shape that we see visually when looking at you from head to toe. So for example, pear type shaped people who lean a little bit more narrow in the shoulder but wider towards the hip or thigh area, you know, the overall silhouette is somewhat of a triangular shape. The shoulders play a big role in that. Similarly to if you have very well proportioned shoulders that are very close in width to your hips. So that can be whether you're hourglass or rectangular, or if you have the broader shoulder body type, like the inverted triangle, like Meghan Markle has, where you have broader shoulders than you do hips. It just simply is noticed by our eyes, especially from a short distance and square, so facing you straight on, face to face, rather than like being turned at a bit of an angle. It is just obvious to us, it catches our eye, because the widest points of our body and the thinnest points of our body are always noticed by us, just kind of, as I said, as an outline. That is just sort of the basic foundation here to this conversation. It's not saying that broad shoulders or narrow shoulders or perfectly proportioned shoulders are good or bad, or one is better than the other. It's simply something we notice with our eyes, so it's important to keep in mind when you're dressing yourself or styling yourself to help bring out the things that you feel most confident about and to help you feel better in your clothes, find things that fit your body better. As I've said before, different silhouettes of clothing, different designs of clothing and cuts of like tops or pants are going to fit different body shapes better. Some pants accommodate wider hips better than other pairs of pants or cuts of pants. It's just something that you should be aware of. Important to keep in mind that it's not about what's best or what's better or body shaming or whether or not you should show off what you have. It's simply about creating a good silhouette that you can feel confident in, especially if you're going to be photographed or you're doing something that really matters to you. You know, if you're attending a graduation or a wedding, these pictures are going to be up on the wall at your house or something like that. You might want to be more careful or mindful of those things in that sort of a setting than it does in your day-to-day. And generally speaking, if it doesn't bother you and you feel confident, that's what's going to shine through the most no matter what. So really, it comes down to how you feel more than anything else. In fact, if there's one thing that Tyra Banks ever taught me from watching America's Next Top Model, it is that it's your attitude and how you are presenting yourself in terms of your vibe, your energy, your confidence that really controls and impacts how you look to others in the first place. But in general, in day-to-day life, like I said, if it doesn't bother you, then no worries. Now, when it comes to Meghan Markle, she does have nice toned arms and shoulders. She does not have, you know, like flabby arms or super rounded shoulders that might cause insecurity for some. So I can totally see where people are coming from that are like, hey, maybe she's just super into her shoulders and wants to show them off. Great. That is totally fine. But there are some ways to show off shoulders that are most flattering, especially for somebody who lacks a well-defined waistline, so that you don't look a little too square or rectangular or really, really angular. Because no matter what, styling and wearing clothes and things like that, including makeup, is technically an art form. So your taste and what you're interested in or what you like is totally fine and custom to you. Once again, it's all about how you feel, but balance is an important part of art. And sometimes we do have things that are on purpose out of balance, and we want to lean into that. But on the day-to-day, oftentimes wearing something that creates a more balanced silhouette can boost our confidence, make us feel a little bit better, and just overall be easier to wear, easier to put together a look that looks right to us when we see it in a mirror and looks good when others see it. It doesn't throw us off and think something's out of balance here, or whoa, that looks really top heavy, because we just notice it by accident. So in that arena and within that little, I'm sorry, I'll get off the soapbox now. Geez, I talked too much, I think. I hope I didn't bore you, but I just wanted to make it clear. So one of the most flattering ways to show off shoulders, particularly if you have broader shoulders or a wider silhouette overall, or if you're somebody with very angular body types, asymmetry is the #1 most flattering way to really show off a shoulder. It works better than showing off both because it prevents those two shoulders being fully exposed, like in a strapless number, for example, just completely taking charge of the outfit and dominating the entire silhouette and the entire visual. The whole entire visual will be those broader shoulders, and just the shoulders alone if you do something strapless, if you have those features. However, when you do an asymmetrical situation, you're able to create the balance that you need. It's less aggressive than showing both shoulders to just show one to us visually. In general, if your shoulders are your broadest point, you don't necessarily want to draw all the focus there. It's okay to have some focus there, but you don't necessarily want it to stop and end there. We've talked about this with the trench dresses, how buttons and a belt right here in the center give us nowhere else to send our eyes. They'll catch maybe the collar of the trench dress and then they'll just fixate right there on the stomach area, which enhances the effect or the visual illusion that there's no waistline, it's just a wide rectangle body here and there's just no definition. That's accentuated because our eyes just get to rest there and kind of just stay stuck in that center area. So the same goes for shoulders. If you're wearing something strapless and the rest of the outfit doesn't necessarily have any gravity to it to suck your eyes in or tell your eyes where to go, then you'll just stay there staring at those broader shoulders that seem really imposing on the outfit and can dominate the visual. So asymmetry prevents that because you'll typically will see that exposed shoulder, but then your eye also takes interest of the covered shoulder and then will oftentimes follow the seam of the shirt, the collar of the shirt as it goes, and then will flow over the rest of the outfit. Tops with wider straps are much better than thinner spaghetti straps for broader shoulders because they break up that distance a lot better. Adding interest in some other way is another great approach. So for example, if you have a top or, it's the top of a dress that has some sort of like detailing or embellishment that will draw the eye all the way down or take the eye on more of a vertical journey, will prevent the eyes from just stopping and resting at the shoulders. Finding a way to elongate the torso is a similar technique. The collarbone area has long been considered a nice feminine, delicate, or dainty area to show. It doesn't come off the same way as cleavage does. So V-necks, scoop necks, wider set collars will bring the eye in to the collarbone and chest area rather than letting them send out over to these shoulders. And you can also play with how wide that neckline is. I will say that square necklines aren't always the best option because if you already have really angular, boxy torso, then that square will just kind of enhance that boxy or angular torso look. Whereas to something with a bit of a curve like a scoop neck or a V-neck, because it creates a triangle and it sends the eye vertically, will not have that same effect as a square neckline will. Cutouts are another great way to showcase shoulders without drawing too much attention to them and creating a disproportionate look or silhouette, which can in turn either feel less comfortable or make ladies feel a little insecure when they're wearing something that either enhances a lack of good proportions or just simply makes them feel like they don't have as good of proportions. Cutouts can do a great job of that because you can really seek out things that have cutouts in places that work best for you. And it's much easier to customize in terms of finding something that you really like that works well for you because there's such a wide variety of cutout style tops these days. So for example, something that has a cutout across the collarbone area or across the shoulders, or maybe even a cold shoulder type situation can be better option than a halter top. So yes, there are wonderful and beautiful ways to show off shoulders if that is one of your favorite areas of your body and makes you feel most confident. When it comes to Meghan Markle, we just have seen her do things that tend to throw her look off balance, and that is not as flattering as looks that maintain or enhance balance in your silhouette. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of these tips. Anything that I featured in the video or used as an example, I will try to link it in the product section for you all. I hope that you have a happy day ahead, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!